ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ BC ਦੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਐਂਡ ਸੋਲਿਸਿਟਰ ਜਨਰਲ ਆਨਰੇਬਲ ਨੀਨਾ ਕ੍ਰੀਗਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਜਿਨੀ ਜੀ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰੀਏ
ਜੀ। Good morning, Minister Krieger.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
As you know, Minister, public safety is top of mind for people living in Surrey. And I know you're here today to talk about changes to the criminal code. How are those changes going to improve public safety?
BC has been really quite proud to lead the calls for changes to bail and sentencing reform that are designed to include public safety. Attorney General Nikki Sharma and I had the chance to be in Ottawa 2 weeks ago with the federal ministers for public safety and justice, and really advocated for the changes that we've heard community members, businesses, and other community members ask for to help address what I think many perceive as the revolving door of the justice system. And so there's tools that are in the proposed reforms to address really evolving threats, including repeat violent offenders, retail theft, criminal acts of extortion, and other serious crime. And we especially welcome measures addressing intimate partner violence risk and extortion, which we know is we're seeing a surge in our own province, and organized retail theft, to ensure that people that are committing crimes are receiving appropriate sentences and not being allowed back on our streets.
Minister, I think people are glad to hear that the criminal code is being changed. But the biggest challenge right now facing law enforcement is catching the people doing the crime. I'm looking at extortion, and right here in Surrey, we had 2 more sets of shootings, one in Surrey, one in Delta, early Sunday morning around 2 something. And within blocks of each other, both sets of shootings were fired at homes. People were in their homes, and they were drive-by shootings. So what kind of actions need to be taken to make sure people are actually getting caught?
And Jenny, thank you for that. And you're right that the bail reforms will keep repeat criminals off our streets. But what we are seeing now, and I'm aware of the shootings that happened this past weekend in Surrey and Delta, are absolutely unacceptable and need the full response of law enforcement. And so I think what is needed now, and what BC is committed to doing, is ensuring that our police are resourced as much as possible, that they receive everything that they need to investigate these threats and related acts of violence. And we have done that by standing up the BC Extortion Task Force, supporting police of jurisdiction investigating crimes that might be beyond the scope of the task force, and investing in supports for victims as well. And all of those things are needed. And I understand that people feel very scared right now, and understandably so. And the province will keep on supporting police to ensure that they can do their jobs, investigating these crimes and holding perpetrators to account.
Madam Minister, you said the people are feeling scared. They are not just only feeling scared. Right now, they are losing their hope in the government. Whatever you are saying, that is the government's, reaction on that. But people can't see any kind of solution to these threats, to these extortion calls. There have been 65 extortion cases going on in this year only in Surrey. How would you ensure people that they are feeling that they should feel safe at their home while sleeping?
Yeah. And I understand that people feel not only scared, but that their trust in the systems that we have to design to keep people safer, that trust is challenged right now. And I have to emphasize that we are seeing results. We recently saw 7 arrests and charges. These investigations are complicated. They take time, but police and the Extortion Task Force are making progress each and every day. So it's so important for people to continue to pass on any bit of information that they have as soon as they have it as well. If people receive a threat, to report it right away. And also important not to pay any requested money, which emboldens the criminals. So
Minister, are you in contact with the Joint Task Force? Are you in a routine contact with the Joint Task Force? Are they giving you some information that where the things are going?
Yes, I'm in regular contact with the BC Extortion Task Force to get progress updates, and I can assure the public that they are working tirelessly, diligently, that the police of jurisdiction in Surrey and Delta are working around the clock to investigate these crimes, to bring charges forward, recommended charges, and it's wonderful that we've seen those 7 charges approved, and we look forward to seeing the progress of investigations underway.
Minister, the arrests you talk about, as you know, a number of them were old from about 2 years ago, and yes, we were happy when we saw those arrests, but there have been 65 incidences, 35 incidences of guns being shot, fired into homes and businesses, and yet we have not seen anything or heard anything from the police or the task force since the last arrests. And that's been quite a while now. I know that the government says you have put in resources, you created this task force, Surrey has its own task force, Abbotsford has its own task force, the Canadian National International Terrorist Group is also working with this task force. I think the public is saying, if all these people are working together, why is this not slowing down? Why are the extortion shootings increasing? And where are the arrests? That's where people go to. I'm going to give you an example, and we'll be talking about this a little bit later. Le Louvre was broken into, and it was broken into by a number of people, and within a week, there have been 2 arrests. And that's a big country, and those people were going all over. But here in Surrey, in a very concentrated area, with all the video cameras, with all the police resources that have been piled into this area, why have there been no arrests?
So I think those 7 arrests and charges are significant, and I think the challenges that you note speak to the complexity of extortion crimes, that these are crimes with very deep impact on local people and businesses. The consequences of these crimes are felt by community members. They do, however, link to national and international elements as well. Attorney General Sharma and I attended a conference of provincial, territorial, and federal ministers of justice and public safety recently. And we are not the only province, unfortunately, that is experiencing this surge. Alberta and Ontario in particular are seeing a rise in extortion crimes. We know that some of these crimes are linked to international criminal organizations such as the Bishnoi Gang, and they require coordination between all levels of government and all levels of law enforcement. And BC is, in fact, the first and only province that has created a provincial task force that brings together law enforcement from the local level, from the provincial level, and also from the federal level to work to disrupt these crimes and to bring criminals to account. These aren't straightforward crimes to investigate, but we are ensuring that police have all the tools that they need to carry out their investigations and get results like the recent arrests and charges. And I think we all want the same thing, which is to see these criminals behind bars, and that's what we'll continue to work towards.
Minister, is the Surrey Police asking for additional resources that you are not giving them?
I have not heard of any additional resource requests from the Surrey Police Services.
Thank you, Minister. And my last plea to you is the victims of these shootings, the victims of extortion, their safety and the safety of their families? Are the police forces well resourced to protect them?
So we provided, in addition to funding for the task force, an additional funding for the police of jurisdiction like Surrey that are involved in providing, developing safety plans for victims. And so we're working to ensure that those police services are doing their job to ensure that victims have safety plans. And in addition, the extortion task force has a community and a family liaison officer as well. And of course, the safety and ongoing safety of any people that have received a threat is a priority, and we're working to ensure that is maintained. And also, we're very pleased that the changes announced federally in terms of the bail and sentencing reform will create provisions that will hold people that are perpetrating these crimes to account, ensuring that anyone accused must show why they should get out on bail. There's a reverse onus that is proposed that there will be weapon bans and consecutive sentences for extortion crimes. And so really together, all of these measures are designed to ensure people are as safe as possible in their communities.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Minister.
appreciate your time.
And really, I'm struck by the fact that the Surrey Police Service
ma'am-
has been given the resources they requested.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
Ma'am, just a quick reaction from you. Can you hold any police officer accountable, the police chief accountable of any jurisdiction if the results are not coming as we are expecting?
So my ministry is in touch with police leadership on an ongoing basis. And
But
so
do you have authority to hold them accountable?
So we work with police of jurisdiction on an ongoing basis. Policing is a municipal area of responsibility, but also it intersects with my responsibility to ensure adequate and effective policing through the province. And so we are in touch with the Surrey Police Services and other police of jurisdiction on an ongoing basis to ensure that they have supports that they need.
Thanks for your reaction, ma'am. Thank you so much. You have a nice day.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much.